Hello there everybody and welcome to episode 0 of my hardcore Let's Play series. Now, if you look at my armor, it doesn't look very episode 0, and that's because this is a recap episode. I started this world without the intention of making content on it, and 6 months later I was like, you know what, this would be kind of fun to record videos on, so I decided I'm gonna make an episode 0, and I'm going to show off my progress and what I've done on the world so far. I haven't played too much, but I did play for a decent bit, so I'm going to be just taking you on a journey back at the world spawn, and we'll go through the recap of what builds I did, what progress I made, and just have a good time. Episode 1 will be the first actual episode, hence why this is called an episode 0, and it's raining. Yeah, as I was saying, episode 1 will be the first actual episode with progress in it, and this one is more of a recap episode, like I said, so yeah. And here we are at the world spawn. Now, I started this world on a live stream, actually, and I fully expected this was going to go nowhere, because every time I tried to do hardcore, I seem to always die in the stupidest way possible. So I wasn't taking this hardcore world seriously. I streamed it for an hour or two, and then I ended the stream, and then I played on it in the background, and then every day I saw myself just getting more and more progress on the world, and then I was like, oh damn, this is actually a hardcore world that I'm going to be playing. So if we head over in this direction, I think we have ourselves, yep, this is the village that I call my starter base, although this is very ugly for a base. I put all my chests and bed right here in this room. If we go over here, I'm pretty sure there are, yeah, right here, there is the librarian that sold me the mending book. And then this one had the 3 guys who sold me the armor and tools I'm still currently using today. The reason why I only have 1 librarian, or I guess 2, but the other one I traded paper with, because mending is one of the most essential enchants and you can't acquire it through the enchant table. And I use the enchant table to get all of my enchantments just through combining. This space doesn't have very much to show other than this huge wall of sugarcane and trees and sheep. So I'm not gonna waste your time too much on this, and let's go to our next destination. The End Dimension. After I killed the dragon, very early, I might add, I built, or I guess I rushed this Enderman XP farm, because I wanted to get myself geared up. Now, this Enderman farm isn't anything special, but it definitely gave me more than enough XP to enchant my armor. And if we go down this very convenient hole, this is the setup. I just swung my sword at these guys, and I kept enchanting, combining, and rerolling enchants until I got myself a god set. It's not particularly the most interesting thing in the world, but this is, I guess, part of the recap because, you know, I have myself armor. Now, the reason why I didn't go with villagers is because every time I do go for villagers, it's usually on a much larger server or a world where I actually get to live multiple times. But since this is a hardcore world, I only really need 1 set, and getting villagers for renewable enchants isn't that useful for me. But I'm sure further down the line, I might need some certain enchant, and I'll build myself a villager hall of some sort. After I got my tool and armor set, I just went to a nearby end city, got myself my wings, enchanted them, and then I never really came back here. If you look here, I have this interesting looking flat terrain, and that's because I didn't bring any blocks from the overworld and I just built it out of end stone bricks, which, you know, fit the end. Now over at this village is where it gets a little interesting, I think. I decided to build over in this direction, yes. Right here is my raid grinder. Around 300 blocks this direction is a Pillager Outpost. I'd grab myself Bad Omen, stand near this villager to activate a raid, and they'd all funnel into this thing. so I could easily defeat raids for the only thing I really needed raids for, which is Totems of Undying. The Pillagers funnel down here, the Ravagers burn in the lava up there, and I get myself the drops. It's not crazy, it's not efficient at all, but I only used it once since I started the world, only because I wanted totems just so I get a second chance if I did die. Now, if you look over in that direction, this is my first build of the world. This is my starter base, which I'm still really proud of. Yeah, take a look and admire this thing. We got ourselves 2 huts, a watchtower, a well, and a crafting area, with a nice custom cliff in the background with a waterfall pouring into this actually naturally generated pond I decided to mess around with and texture a little bit. It's not too crazy because it is a starter base and I'm not a builder. So at the time, bamboo blocks were new, so I decided to go very bamboo heavy for the design. And yeah, we have ourselves the wool from earlier and moss with some grass as the texturing. Around the pond it's more stony and it has sand in the bottom. And for the huts, this one is a storage hut, which is my most used hut. And then this one is, I'm not even going to call this a bedroom. This is just a bed. It's just 2 beds and absolutely nothing else. I even forgot to install the ladders for this one. And this one is the watchtower, which is pretty neat. If we head inside, there are cats in here for whatever reason. I decided to light this thing up with lanterns, and I think it's pretty nicely lit. Up here is the custom cliff, and I really like the gradient going on in the background. We have ourselves some bushes and bamboo wrapping around, and yeah, overall it's a really cozy, really comfy, jungle, lush, pretty cool build. So I'm gonna try to sleep so it's daytime so I can show you my other project. Now, over on in that direction, around 200 blocks or so, there's an ocean biome. And I decided to... Oh my goodness, there's a creeper. Oh, I don't have arrows. There you go. As I was saying, over on in that direction, around 200 blocks away or so, we have ourselves an ocean biome with this thing. Now, this is the project I've been working on. For some context, I started this world back in June, and I haven't really touched it since, like, end of June, start of July of 2023. So, this project is basically the only thing I've been working on, and I haven't touched it in a while. But it's not complete, as you can very clearly tell. But I will show you what progress I've done on it so far, and in later episodes I definitely want to wrap up this project and finish it once and for all. Now, the project is a lush island, very flat as of currently, but the final details come later. This island is meant to combine both functionality and aesthetic, so I wanted to go for farms. If you look inside of here, there are fully functioning mob farms and item farms, but I wanted to also make it look aesthetically pleasing, because every time I do make farms, I decide to just leave all the redstone and all the random stuff exposed, which looks cool. Here, I'll throw in some screenshots if I'm not lazy while editing this. But I decided to go for something different. This time I wanted to make an island, and I wanted to do builds. So if we look inside of this one's a creeper farm, if this guy didn't imply it enough. But it's a tower, and then there's a giant creeper busting out the roof, which I'm kind of proud of. The creeper idea was very heavily inspired by Iskall85. So yeah. Now over in this direction is the villager breeder. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it definitely doesn't look bad compared to that monstrosity over there. Now, this is the reason why I built the villager breeder in the first place, which is an iron farm, but it looks ugly. I don't know what I was thinking when I built this, but this is definitely getting a revamp sometime soon. Over in this direction is a slime farm. It is a 1-chunk slime farm. Here's a closer look at the layers, and it's pretty neat. I haven't done the actual building for it yet, and I'm not too sure what I want to do exactly. All I know is that I want this surface area thing exposed so I'd actually see into the farm. So if you have any ideas, make sure to let me know. And over here, we have ourselves the villager trading hall. Now, usually I'd get my emeralds from raid farms because those are very AFK and very easy. But I've also had my fair share of deaths related to raid farms, so this time I decided to go safe for my emeralds, and most of the iron I get from the iron farm, I just go ahead and trade with these guys right here, which are just a bunch of weapon, armor smiths, and toolsmiths, and they all take an iron trade, so 4 iron for 1 emerald, and I just get my iron from here. If we go down this ladder, we have ourselves a second and third layer of the trading hall. The second layer I decided to go for farmers because farmers trade you the best food in the game, golden carrots, and I have myself a very comfy supply of golden carrots, so I don't think I'll need food anytime soon. And for the third layer, I went for clerics, and I haven't actually done much work on the clerics. I haven't even leveled them up, and in a later episode, we'll definitely do that. Now, if we look over at this thing, this is a tower, as you can tell, and I'm very happy with how it looks, and to be completely honest, the farm inside isn't too important. We have ourselves a layered melon and pumpkin farm, and the reason why I did this is just all as an excuse to build this tower. I really wanted to build a tower, and I did this build before the creeper build, so that's the added context there. I built the melon and pumpkin farm just as an excuse to encase it with a tower, and after it turned out nicely, I was like, why not make more tower? So I built this thing. And over in this direction is the last project I worked on, which is a broken sugarcane farm. Hold on, let me fix this thing. There we go. Yeah, this thing is a sugarcane bamboo farm split down the middle between sugarcane bamboo. And every minute or so, the flying machine breaks everything. Under are some minecarts collecting all the drops. And for the exterior, I didn't do much design. I just did bushes, which, to be fair, are very terrible at keeping drops in, but they don't look industrial and they're not in the way, so I'm going to keep it this way, even if I'm losing out on like half my bamboo. Now, you might be wondering where all the drops are going, because I've shown you the farms, but I haven't actually shown you any of the drops. And if we head over this way, we have ourselves an underwater cave, and it takes you to the center or core of the island, and we have ourselves the storage cave. This is where all the drops go. Behind the scenes, there are item sorters and water streams all heading into the chests that store all the items, and it's neatly sorted. This was a pain to get working properly because I had to do redstone underwater, but we have ourselves the glowberries, anvils for decoration, because why not? I have way too much iron. And we have ourselves the chests. This one's store poppies, these ones all store iron, these ones all store gunpowder. And as far as I remember, these two store slime. And yeah, this one's for pumpkin, these ones are for melons. This one's for sugarcane, and the reason why I don't have a huge supply of this stuff is because I haven't actually played since I built the sugarcane farm. And this one has bamboo, and bamboo accumulates way faster than sugarcane. And that's about it. I haven't played on the world too much. I haven't done a crazy amount of progress in 740 days, but to be fair, a lot of that was spent AFKing, and a lot of that was spent just messing around. I'm not taking this world too seriously, but now that I'm making videos on it, I'll definitely try to incorporate more variation and much more exciting things. And that's been episode 0. It was a short one, and it was a recap. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, then be sure to let me know. Maybe share this with some friends. And whether you're a recurring viewer or someone who's never even heard of my channel, then I welcome you to this series and I welcome you to the channel. Yeah, this has been fun, and goodbye. Every time I do need to enchant something, I would head over so whenever I did need enchants, I'd just head over